Hi, I'm Dan Rodriguez with Weyerhaeuser Distribution. I'm here with Gary Katz, contributor to Fine Home Building magazine and producer of the Katz Roadshow. We've invited Gary to share best practices for installing exterior siding.
Hi, Dan. You know, whenever someone mentions Weyerhaeuser, people always tend to think of wood products.
That's so true. But Weyerhaeuser also specializes in distributing many of the best building products used in the construction industry today, supplying leading brands of decking, insulation, siding, and trim. This includes James Hardie fiber cement siding, which Gary's going to be installing today.
That's right, Dan. But even the best products can fail if they're not installed properly. First, let's take a look at cutting siding and trim. Don't use a carbide blade for cutting fiber cement siding or trim. You'll find it's best to use a polycrystalline diamond blade so you'll have cleaner cuts free from chipping and tear out. And if you're using a circular saw, cut the siding face down so you'll have cleaner, crisper cuts. Be sure to prime all end cuts. You may not know it, but the end grain of wood and fiber cement siding is porous and it'll wick moisture, causing the paint to fail prematurely and possibly damaging the material too. That's why it's so important to seal all cuts with 2 coats of 100% acrylic primer. No matter what type of material you're using, always install siding at least 1/4 of an inch above flashing so any moisture will drain out of there. And don't fill that gap with sealant or caulking. Wood and fiber cement siding must be allowed to drain and dry. Always use a 1 1/4 inch starter strip beneath your first course of siding. And make sure that you install that starter strip about 1/4 of an inch higher than the bottom of your trim and your siding. You can blind nail siding using roofing or siding nails, but don't countersink the nails. Just drive them flat and snug against the siding. If they're proud, tap them snug with a hammer. Nails must be placed precisely. Blind nails should be about 1 inch down from the top edge of the siding. Face nails, like this one, should be about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom edge. If you overdrive a nail in James Hardie siding, drive another one right near it to be sure the material is secured properly. Be sure to install a slip sheet or joint flashing at each butt joint to prevent water from penetrating the siding. You can use a piece of house wrap or you can use a piece of corrosion-resistant flashing. Bearskins are available in a variety of colors that'll match any pre-finished siding, especially James Hardie's Color Plus. James Hardie recommend that you butt siding together lightly without any gap and without any need for sealant or caulking. James Hardie also recommend that you space siding away from window and door legs by 1/8 of an inch, leaving a gap that's wide enough for sealant. If you're going to use sealant, you must always leave 1/8 of an inch gap or the sealant won't grab. When applying sealant, always be sure it laps over the trim and the siding 1/8 of an inch in each direction. And when you apply sealant, don't cut the tip of the tube like this. You're going to end up with a flat spot right on the tip of the tube, and that makes it impossible to run a smooth bead of sealant. Instead, hold the tip down against a board and slice right through it at a clean angle. Then you'll be able to run a tool-free bead. If you follow these tips and techniques and you stick to manufacturer's instructions, your siding and trim will last and your jobs will be a lot more profitable.
Thanks, Gary. That was a lot of information to cover. We hope this video has been helpful to you. Be sure to check out other videos from Weyerhaeuser Distribution on best building practices, including Gary's segment on exterior trim, which looks at flashing and installing window and door trim. We also want to thank James Hardie. You'll find additional information on their exterior siding products, as well as full installation instructions. Weyerhaeuser Distribution, serving customers by providing resources and expertise to the marketplace.